Hello everyone and welcome to the LEC post-game lobby after round 2 of the spring playoffs. I'm Sharks, joined here by Yamato, Cannon, Perks, and Jankos. I feel a bit awkward right now, so I'm sorry, Jankos, obviously for the rap, and I think you showed me wrong. So congratulations, that was an insane series. That was really pretty much a stomp, I think, from game 2 on. Why do you think you were so much stronger than OG today?
Well, I think our drafts and game plans went really well, except for the first game, where I think me and Rasmus take a really bad 2v2 early in the game, and then I think OG played really well around that. You know, they had pressure, mid-jungle pressure for the whole game, so they went bot, they dived our bot lane, and you know, then they swapped, they got Herald, and they kind of snowballed the game. But somehow we came back. Not sure how, but we ended the game really, really close there.
I know how. You stole the Elder Dragon.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, right? I mean, my team maybe could end without it. I'm not sure. Maybe, maybe not. But I think that, you know, from second game on, we had the momentum and we won the first game. And I think already there, they were like a little bit more sad. And in the third game, they went for exactly the same draft as in the second game. So it was really lost. And yeah, we won.
Yeah, do you think they tilted after that game 1, Perks?
I don't know if they tilted after game 1. I think after game 1, like from knowing the players, I think they would be like, I think we just fucked up, yeah, and so we just go next game and we do like kind of our plan again, you know, and that's kind of what they did. They kind of, I mean, they had kind of like similar job with strong mid jungle early, right? And like, but honestly, they also got cheesed. Like, I think both games they are from big disadvantage level 1 because we have a scaling comp, and they die level 1. So in the second game, like they're playing Town Virus, and they start FSRW and Time is no flash, and that lane they can actually win early game, but since they got cheese, yeah, they can't win, and then already our champs are way better. So honestly, I think it was a bit of unluck for them because game 1 they should have won. Game 2, yeah, sucks, better draft wins. So I mean, yeah. It was hard for them after game 1, honestly.
Yeah, what Yamato was mentioning is that he thought that you guys were individually all in your top of your game. So even when you got in situations, you don't agree?
I think we were really boosted.
I was really running down.
Okay,
actually.
at least the first 2 games, I feel like, okay, I think the first 2 games we were like not playing that well as well. And, but like game 3, for example, Mickey Rakan was really good. And game 2, we could see a bit of his wrist issues.
I would like to point out with my comment was in the clutch moments, for example, the fight when they were forcing Herald, Wonder was cancelling the Poppy ultimate, and this one, your E on the Zaya ult was very beautiful, very well timed with the Tamken spit. There was like these clutch moments that made the difference in the fights, and that's what I kind of pointed to. And I think Wonder's Irelia was really juicy when he hit the 5-man ult and the E to cancel Poppy ult. It was nice to see.
Yeah, I think we played well, I guess, in those moments. Yeah,
So it's actually scary if you think that this actually wasn't the best, because for us it was really hard to think, okay, what G2 are we going to see today? Do you think you're far off even from your ceiling after today?
Well, I mean, all teams are kind of new, besides, let's say, Fnatic, right? They only changed one guy, but like I feel like we have so much more to get better at. Like, I think our mid-late game, our knowing what our win condition is really good, and we have players who look how to win the game. We don't necessarily look how to like outskill someone in fights or something, but now we actually look how to win the game. Like what is gonna win us the game. As of before in the early split, we were just pretty much trying to go for the crazy fights all the time, right? We were just like taking fights, but now if we play more controlled, and that shows as well. So I'm pretty happy with how we played today. I think we played really well, but this is like far from what we want to show, right? So
I think like coming back, I think our early game still like needs to improve a bit, because even though enemy team would draft most of the time for early game and they should win it or they should be ahead, I don't think they should be as ahead. And especially in the first game, it showed where, like Luca mentioned before, I think we should have lost that game, and then maybe the momentum would be on their side, and then maybe the BO5 would go all the way, you know. So I'm pretty happy that we are smart in game and we don't overforce when we don't need to. We wait for items and we just play the game well. Yeah,
Yamato actually really frowned when he saw that you guys had blue side in game 1.
I was surprised.
It didn't make sense to you.
I thought, since I don't scrim, I didn't scrim now for how many weeks? A couple of weeks. So I don't know, I can't gauge the meta as well as you guys, of course. And I was surprised you guys picked blue. What would be the reasoning behind choosing blue, if you guys can reveal?
Well, we can't really reveal.
Of course.
So would not make sense then for our next series,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But let's just say we were happy with our plan, and they were happy obviously with their plan because they kept choosing red, right?
Yeah.
We gave them their side in the first game, and they kept choosing it. So yeah, I think just both teams got what they want, and that's it pretty much.
Yeah, it looks like it. Kia player of the game for this one. People voted for Caps, 45% of the votes. Yeah, I mean, what are you going to say? Is it deserved?
Yeah, I mean, he was playing quite well, right? He didn't really die for no reason, and he was just...
He learned from his homework.
Yeah, he was just sitting on side lane and just like farming, and you know, I think he was playing very well in teamfight as well.
Yeah, I mean,
nothing else to say.
do you think you have the first game to thank to Caps and Caps alone that you won that, or with the Rise?
I mean,
he was...
not really, but he
Yeah.
played well. Like he played really well,
Because
but
that was our viewpoint.
mean,
We thought he won that game for you guys.
I mean, I think I think OG just didn't do Nash when they could, and then as soon as we stopped the first Nash, I feel like we had. I mean, there was like a lot of moments that we could have won or lost the game. Like, I mean, he was for sure important because he was our only AP damage as well. So, but I don't really feel like. I feel like we just had really good calls as a team as well. Like we were getting inhibitors when we could with Rise ult, and we would start Nash when he was hitting bot and stuff. Like we just had pretty good macro, I think, and some clutch moments in the game. But
Also,
I think he played well, right? But I don't think he solo carried.
Yeah, I didn't really feel like in the first game we would be allowed to basically, you know, do anything as 4, you know. So we kind of relied on him to split push, and maybe that looked this way because every time he would get pressure, we would try to do something else on the map, and it was all well coordinated so that we would get some objectives, we would get inhibs. So, I mean, I think he played really well, not getting caught like it happened in Scrim sometimes. But I think it was a team effort.
Okay, VODS mentioned during the cast that he thought that you guys were incredibly good at making something happen on the map, making the enemy look at one point while you secure another objective or while you set up something else. Is that something specifically you train?
Wow, we sound so insane.
Like, honestly, I'm still surprised that we 3-0'd Origen. And I mean, I don't think we are like that insane, but I just think that we kind of know what to do on the map, and we know which fights to take, and we know which fights we shouldn't take. And we also understand the power spikes, right? We know when do we want to actually fight, or when we should give up objective to actually not lose the game, like it happened in the first game where they did get 2 Infernals, but somehow we still won the game, right?
And we didn't have the Drake, the Drake obsession. The Drake obsession, because usually when we have like, we have the Drake obsession, let's say.
That even enemy gets 2nd or 3rd Infernal.
Like we have to fight in front Drakes, but honestly, if we fought them front Drakes again, we would have just got free lose, you know?
Yeah.
So it was good that we actually talked about the Dragons, we called them off, we got turrets in exchange. Like we played, honestly, we played pretty well macro with what we were given.
So instead, you just gave him 2 Infernals, a Mountain, and the first Elder Dragon, and you were like, okay, it's fine. We're just going to steal the second Elder Dragon.
We kind of had to.
Yeah, you were in that position also. Yamato, they obviously do not think that they're so super high IQ in that game. But to you, it did look like a team that was completely on the same page.
I think the first game, considering the position was in, after first 10 minutes, I was calling the game is over because it kind of should have been. But OG, they were so obsessed with, they kept sending 3 into top and leaving Zoe mid alone. You guys were getting mid prior and they were not pressuring anything. I think that was a big mistake. And they should have just forced a Nasher before Ryze hitting the inhibitor turret. So I think macro-wise, you guys played very well first game. Second and third, I think if OG's team composition doesn't get mid tower, I think the game is lost for them because they need to win the early game. They need to break the mid tower with Herald, and if they don't, Zaya's gonna clear, and they can't really force Nasher when mid tower is open and Swain can W it. So I think you guys played, as you were saying, the game idea was down. It was very clear what you guys wanted to do in game after some hiccups in the first 10-15 minutes of the game, as we saw.
There's a coach of the split curse. Whenever they like get it before, like Giotto won coach of the split, and he had an interview right before the game. It's always a bit yikes when that happens.
I beat H2K when I got mine, so.
Oh, okay. So you're like the. I think there was a time when Probably got it as well after he lost. So yeah, it's a bit unlucky. But with that, I do want to parlay it into the fact that OG now next week has to play Fnatic in the semifinal. Let's take a look at the bracket. So on Saturday in Rotterdam, we have the full schedule now. Fnatic.
So hype.
Plays OG,
hype, yeah.
super hype, and then the final will be G2 versus Fnatic and OG. Before we get to the final,
Both? Yeah, send them both.
at the same time.
Send them both.
Okay, talk to me about Fnatic OG. You know, they play different opponents, right? So it's maybe hard to tell how they will play versus each other, but what do you guys think, Jankos?
I mean, I think that OG playstyle could be good against Fnatic because, I mean, I think both teams are kind of playing very similar, where both teams play on bot lane. So I think the draft will be really important as of who gets like the early game to be able to play on bot lane. And then we have both Karthus players. I'm pretty sure, Broxa still likes it. He still first picks it. I bet that Colt could play it if he wanted to. So
It's not that difficult.
honestly, I think, those teams will also practice against each other. So, I mean, they are similar, right? And then we will see who's better.
Does that give a better game when it's teams that have been practicing each other, or does it give a more held back game because you know so much about them?
I think it gives a better game, like in my opinion, because they know stuff about each other, but it's like they can use it to their advantage. Like you can see who will prepare better for it. Honestly, I really like the whole fact of preparation, and I think I'm happy with what we prepared, and we stuck to what we prepared, and same with Origin, right? But we just got the better of it today, So maybe Fnatic and Origin will just be. I would expect it to be a closer series. I think it can go like 3-2 either way. But yeah, I would not know how strong Fnatic is. So.
Either side is because I think from our perspective, we've been looking at them and say, oh yeah, well, they won very easily against Vitality. They also won versus Splice. But from my perspective, there's never been a moment that I was watching them that I thought, wow. And when I was watching you guys today, there were times where I thought, what? How? Like, wow, that was so sick. I don't think Fnatic is on that level necessarily. I think that would be crazy to say as well. But I have a very hard time judging how strong they really are. Jacob, can you help?
Well, to be honest, our games against Fnatic were just dog shit. Like, we just kind of got smashed. Yes. I would be lying if I said, oh, they played so well and they outplayed us. Well, they did. It was just we were playing bad. And I think Fnatic, like Splice, were trying to throw some curveballs at them and they were trying to be a bit too cute.
Yeah.
And I think Fnatic didn't have to show as much to win those series.
Who wins that series?
I guess Fnatic OG. The only thing I'm thinking about, who scrims who here? What happens with scrims?
As far as we know, what was it? Fnatic Scrim OG?
What
The one scrims G2? No, G2 scrims Splice? I don't know.
Scrim Academy teams, I guess.
We will see.
We will see. Do you like, there's some team that's knocked out of the playoffs somewhere, you flew them in secretly and you're just playing against them? Who knows? So then, the final. Do you have a preference who to play? I would say probably.
I don't mind. I would like to play against Mitty again in the final.
Yeah.
It's just I like to play against him.
And you can beat him twice.
I don't really. Yeah, I don't really. Beating Fnatic would be nice as well because we lost to them last year, right? So it's like I don't really mind who I face. Maybe if Fnatic 3-0's Origin, then it would be hype to play against Fnatic, right? Because maybe they're really good, but I honestly very much doubt it. Like,
can you lose to any of to these teams?
Well, we can lose. Like we almost
can you
lost
lose
game
3
one.
games in a row?
I honestly can't see my Nexus exploding more than once, or at least not 3 times in a row. I can't say 3 times in a row.
3 times in a row. Jankus, how do you feel about either opponent?
I would personally prefer to play Fnatic, I think. That's because I feel like there's, still some people that doubt Cap's decision. So I would like to play them, play against Fnatic and kind of beat them, show that we are better. And also, I think that will be like really insanely hypey.
Yeah.
Like even if OG like loses 2-3, let's say, and Fnatic like barely goes through, I think still Fnatic G2 finals would be like insanely hypey. So
Hypey?
I would
Hypey? New word.
Hype. Okay.
Hypey.
Fine. yeah. Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine.
You guys know what's up. So.
Sorry, Martin. I love it. It's hypey. Yeah, I agree. I'm just like, as a fan, this is just so hype. It's almost mind-blowing. It's
Hypey.
It's so hypey.
It's new
really
word.
so
It's a new word.
Yeah, and because it's so hypey, you guys should also get tickets if you don't have them yet for Rotterdam. eu.lolesports.com/Rotterdam. Semi-final Saturday, Fnatic versus OG. Final Sunday, G2 versus the loser. The winner, sorry, of Fnatic or OG, the playoff format, it's whack. One final question about that. That last day, of course, a lot of people have been talking about the fact that you don't know who you're going to play until the end of that best of 5, just the day before. How do you think you're going to approach that little time you have until the final?
Well,
Go.
okay. Well, I think that we will prepare against, our next team as well as we would do against any team, and then we will see who do we scrim. And I honestly
prep for both? Just the whole
I mean,
time?
you don't really like prep for both. You just prep what you want to play, and then after the BO5 ends, you can kind of discuss what do you play against which team. But maybe on Friday or Thursday, you can actually discuss like what do you play against Fnatic, what do you play against OG. And since I think they have similar play styles, I don't think we need to play prep way differently against them. And on top of it, they will have to show everything day before that. I think the only advantage that they could get is playing on stage before us. I think like playing 4 or 5 games on stage the day before the final could give you like an edge in the first game at least.
Does it influence any of you? Do you get just nervous? Mickey X mentioned, you know, it was the first game on stage in such a long time. When it's an arena, do you guys care, or do you just step on stage and just you're in the zone immediately, or does it differ between the two?
Well, honestly, I like playing in front of crowd in arenas. Like it fuels me. Like I feel like I play so much better there than anywhere else. And usually, before even every LCS game, like I'm almost always nervous. I mean, like the first like 5 minutes or something. It's just like I've been playing like over 200 games professionally, but it's like doesn't change, right? It's just how it is, you know. So the first like when I got dived, I'm like what am I even doing? Like how did I get dived? You know, how is this possible? And I must have just been like sleeping or something, right? And then I'm like, okay, just wake up, you know, and then I can focus on my game again, focus on what is the game plan, etc. So the first 10 minutes of the first game always bad. I can't help it. It's just
that's important information for.
Yeah. So now maybe someone can take a
the level ones,
take one game of it, but other than that, yeah.
Yeah, do you think that G2 kind of... you used to often lose the first game of a series and then you just completely turn around and demolish the team. Do you feel that's still there? Because this first game was also like, okay, it looks like they can lose it, but that's kind of the G2 MO.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, because last year we weren't really like smashing teams that much.
Yeah,
so
okay.
I can't really talk, right? But yeah, before it was like G3 won.
Yeah.
But actually the last playoff I was in, like in 2017 summer, we won. We also went like 3-0 in semifinals and finals. So maybe it would be cool if I could repeat that, right? But
yeah,
I'm not thinking about it too much. I'm just like focused on the prize, and I want to.
But
I want to win again, so
yeah.
I will just try my best.
I was just going to ask you, because I wanted to hear from both of you, because Jankos, you know, it's so close now actually for you. You could lift that trophy, especially with how you guys played today. How are you just feeling towards that moment that's going to be a milestone in your career, that final next week?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty excited, but at the same time, last year, I thought it was really close in Spring Split, and then we got 3-0 by Fnatic in the final. I don't think...
don't worry, I didn't.
Yeah, I don't think it would like happen again. I think we are on a high level now, and I think we played the game well, and we improved day by day. In those 3 weeks, we don't play as bad as we played at the end of season, and we prepped well. So I think it's really close. Yeah, I don't want to choke now because it's like kind of close, but I think I will not. I mean, yeah, it will be really fun.
Okay, Yamato, who wins the Spring Split?
I think these guys. Think
Why?
it's,
Thank you.
Because they're better than both of these teams. I think they're going to face Fnatic in the finals, because I think with OG, what they showcased today, I think if they reach that point of 25 minutes, I think Reckless can step up and win the games for them. But I think G2 is for sure the big favorite. I think putting money on anything else is just flushing it down the toilet.
Would it feel nice to beat Reckless and win the trophy back, Perks?
Yeah, I mean,
How nice?
I mean, it will be honest. I mean, honestly, like if someone rolls up to me like an AD carry or something and beat me in the finals, like I would just like I would not be able to take it serious. If I actually that's a problem I think people have playing against me. Like they can't take it serious. Like they can't like
why is this guy
when you see a middle, you know, like well, why is he here? You know, you can't take it serious. You just can't focus. So yeah, I'm fairly confident playing against either Fnatic or OG Botlane, and winning against both of them will give me like a bit of personal satisfaction, right? So I'm just so excited to play on stage again. I was really waiting for this day today. So
some good strategies here.
Yeah.
It's, no name tags against Perks, and then first 10 minutes the first game.
Oh, dude, I am actually so excited. I wish it was next week already, but it isn't. So we have a lot of anticipation as well.
Wait, it's
What?
It's not next week?
It is next week.
Oh yeah.
But it's not next week right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it makes sense.
I thought like finals got changed or something.
Yeah, it's tomorrow. Can you guys come back? No, anyway, so as we close out round 2 of the Spring Playoffs, we're also going to look back at some of the best moments from the Rift in our Alienware big plays. First up, Bwipo, who got camped yet again yesterday. He always gets camped. But he stayed tilt-proof throughout the series. After getting his hands on Aatrox in Game 3, he locked Splice in the Infernal Chains.
And look, one hit away. This should be a clean tower for Fnatic.
Oh, Bwipo's going to fancy it, but at what cost? The Emperor's Divide. And Bwipo's going to get into... Ooh! Where did that damage come from? I demand a replay.
Coming. Oh, this is really good. This is really good. I'm taking the turret. Oh, get the shield out of my face. Holy shit.
Everybody in his lane. As all of a sudden, Kobe's in some trouble. He's actually going to try to turn it into Hillisang. From Ideal Burst was used rather. Whipper will buy some time, maybe just enough to help get a kill to Zuzzi. Whipper survives the onslaught of shadows. He outplays again.
What do you guys think of that?
Well, that was quite cool.
Impressive, yeah. I mean, I think the mid lane, like Humanoid really set him up for that. And the top lane, I mean, you could try to dive Lissandra with ult, but maybe you should not when you don't know his enemy team. So I think he was really set up for like the big plays he made. But I mean, he...
Vayne walked from mid to top without being called miss mid. Like, just no SS mid. Report whoever was mid. It was Shen mid, so...
But I mean, he played well, right? I mean,
Yeah,
nothing against him.
What do you
like,
guys think of Bupo?
He's fine.
He's okay. Yeah, I mean, last time he played against Wunder, he was double Flame Horizon, so I see him smurfing on Aatrox, I think, recently. That's what I noticed. He's smurfing on Aatrox. That's like a trend. And he's kind of like the new Soaz in the team where he just tanks the ganks.
Yeah.
He got good at that because before he would int much more than now. So plus for him, plus point there.
It's like you used to int a bit more as well this split, but now you don't anymore.
Holy.
Wow.
No,
Okay,
I hate that people say like shots
right in the gut.
fired.
This is like
In the beginning of the split,
I'm getting flamed now.
no, you were sometimes a bit, I would say, overeager. Let me put it that way. In the lane, like I would see you flashing forward almost all the time, right?
I think that's a good thing.
I mean,
mean,
I think that I had some
I
bad
think
games.
you even said it was good.
Like I had a bad Draven game against the XL. That's what I remember. Honestly, like I read this a lot that I'm not playing good or something, but I think I played so good this split, and I'm really happy with how I played, and no one can tell me wrong. Sure, I make mistakes, but I feel like when people see me make mistake, they like point the finger. Oh, he made this mistake.
Yeah.
He fucking sucks. But in reality, every other player makes mistakes as well. Like it's like people forget that Reckless went like 0-10 on 0 or something, right?
Do you think
So-
you're being focused more because you have that magnifying glass on you?
Yeah, I mean, I think so for sure, right? But I don't really. I mean, I was getting triggered by it, but
I just did that. I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. Just want to elaborate that I took these 3 weeks to practice hard, so I don't have this. I don't have this moment, so I can play perfect. And I don't think I played perfect, but I will try hard for finals to play perfect.
I feel really embarrassed now. I actually think you're right, and you put me in my place, and you did play phenomenally now, and I hope you'll be playing phenomenally as well going forward.
I would like to say, like my opinion, I think the mistakes you were making, if they were done, was just like silly blunders that were like, oh, your super is warding and the enemy is all inning. And I think these type of mistakes, they really don't matter. Because if you look at how you played like the hard parts of AD when you actually judge an AD carry, I think that you did very, very well. And I think that's how you judge an AD carry, like how much they actually do in those fights, how do they play the lane phase. And I think if you compare yourself to the other ADs, those are the things that you have to always look at.
Yeah,
So well done.
Honestly, the role is I don't want to be too arrogant, but it's a lot easier than mid.
Yes, for sure.
I can just like today. I honestly didn't feel like the first game was a bit hypey because we were like behind.
Yeah.
But the other 2 games I was just sitting and hitting creeps. But at least I had like I actually had my eyes on the minimum of the whole game, so I could just follow them up and like at least be useful by talking, you know, because I didn't really do anything.
Do
in
you
this game,
miss
you know?
like the action in mid lane?
Honestly, I really like the fact that I can just farm. My kind of like my secret fetish is like just auto-attacking creeps. Like, I actually enjoy farming minions, but I also miss like being able to actually do stuff in the game, like being very proactive. But that's why I can show my mages. They're soon they're to be seen yet, but
Yeah,
Oh my god!
I think with like perks and caps, I'm getting like choked out way more. Like in the jungle, I mean, they do take a lot of my camps, and I mean it's fine, right? But in the first game, for example, I think I didn't buy a single item for like 20 minutes. I was like,
warrior and the
warrior and like
Jarm's fist.
Yeah, and I sat on that for like 20 minutes. I felt like, and you know, I was just buying pings and just like being a bot, running river,
That's why
clearing
they want you to
wards.
pick Karthus, dude. That
Yeah.
like you don't need anything. You just need to press hard. And then.
That's true, yeah. But Karthus needs to farm though. So
Yeah,
if
that
I
is true.
pick,
That is true. All right. Anyway, moving on. We talk about superstar moves by mid laners. Well, Cabs definitely did that in tonight's series. G2 started things off with a backdoor win in Game 1, showing that they learned a thing or two after losing to Fnatic in Week 9. Prompter's words, not mine.
Caps going towards mid. They're going to do it! More 4,000 HP left on the Elder. Jankos trying to get in. Jankos steals it away! And now G2 are just going to force down mid. All of Origen need to back away to try me out, but Jankos is keeping him around. He's down into the GA. Mickey there as well. They get Jankos, but who has been able to back? Nukeduck's got away. Cold sticking on Mickey. keeps Patrick in the round. And there's the Nexus towers going down. G2, they steal it away. They can do it, and G2 take the Nexus.
Yeah, we can cancel their bases. We
Maybe
can
flash
cancel.
for
Go
him?
for
Oh,
it,
he
go for it,
don't
go for it.
Oh
we
my
got
God,
it, we got it. Nice, nice. Ult. Go for it, go for it.
I'll just take ult.
Me and Rexha will stop them.
Okay.
At least
Yeah,
watch
yeah.
the next base. Only Zoe can base, I think.
Okay.
Keep going,
Let's
keep
go,
going.
let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
And then we end.
Let's go, let's go. Oh, I'm dead.
Nice start.
Hit.
Hit. Let's go, let's go.
Yeah.
You guys had a lot to say about that.
Yeah, Caps choked. But it's fine. Like, I know he will not do it again.
Was it again your call? I couldn't really hear because we know that that one against Fnatic was famously your.
No, I mean I think it was Rasmus who
Yeah,
called it.
I think
He said
Caps
it.
called his ult
Yeah.
and yeah,
Okay.
go for it.
The Rise players just called the ults. Honestly, Rise is so I miss playing Rise. Like that's
Yeah.
one thing. Like
Do you think?
maybe I'll play it in the future. I can't say much, but
Well, you've said a lot.
I
in the last 2 minutes.
I do miss playing Rise. Yeah.
Okay, right. So 5 games of Rise in the finals. In the deciding game, though, game 3, G2 came out on top after a dominating performance, securing their spot in the LEC Spring Final.
And Wonder has the teleport up in 7 seconds as well. 4,000 HP on the Baron. Patrick wailing away on it, but Jankos looking for the ability to get in. The Baron down to 2,000. Jankos gets Mithy. The Baron down to 1,000 now, but Mithy eats him up, and Cold will get it. Wonder now teleported into the fight. Is this enough? Can G2 get the chase off? Can Origen get out with their lives? Nuke Duck is down towards the bottom side. Afami chased out by Wonder. Wonder just needs the trial by fire. Who gets him? That's another kill for Jankos off towards the top side as well as Patrick falls. Cold chased underneath the tower. He will survive.
Okay.
I will TP safely though. Put the one, 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 put the one. Safe port, safe port.
Monkey.
I can't chase.
No, win. Chase. No flash swing. Maybe kill a base.
Yeah, come on.
Maybe I just reset the package fast.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm coming. Can we just get rid of it? I'll take package.
Yeah, you can.
Baron minions now respawn for Origen. The engage, the charm. Caps jumps in. Nuke Duck goes golden, pops the stopwatch for the moment, but he's down. And Caps and G2 will silence anyone that doubted them, and they will fight for the title in Rotterdam.
Going. Oh, I can't
Go ahead.
Nexus.
Hit the Nexus.
Oh shit, not Jinx right. Nice. GG. Holy shit.
Well,
Pretty calm. Job done. Nice work. Yeah. Okay.
I didn't have an
know what to
earpiece.
say. It's one of those things where it was
Yeah.
so convincing that I just.
Yeah,
felt bad
I
talking
honestly,
about OG.
I don't know what to say there. Like,
No,
yeah.
it's crazy.
I mean, we almost threw though. Like I had
Yeah?
flashbacks to game against SK. I mean,
yeah,
I think the game was really
Okay, this
unwinnable
one
for
was
them.
really
But
not close.
but when Jinx started killing us at the
Yeah, when
Nexus,
Jinx started killing us, we
when
got
we
some-
started,
Flashback.
when we tried
Wow,
to end the
Jinx is so
game,
good.
and then instead of screaming for like to leave people, we were like thinking about helping
I was
them.
thinking about saying my
Yeah.
kid. Yeah, I was screaming.
Yeah,
help
I mean,
me,
he was
help me.
screaming, help me. I was like, don't help him, please don't help him. So
I was like, I'm not dying, but I died. So.
No, absolutely fantastic stuff. Nobody knew what to expect, and you guys absolutely showed up. 3-0. I think we've said a lot of superlatives today, but I think anyone who ends up playing you guys in the finals should be afraid, and very much so. So we'll see how that plays out next week. Across the Atlantic, though, the LCS Spring semifinals are starting. Huge matchup over there. Cloud9 versus TSM. Of course, Niski is over there now
that is really hype
as
matchup.
well. So what do you guys think is going to happen?
I think Cloud9.
Cloud9?
I think Cloud9. I mean, I don't watch NA that much. I just think Cloud9. I believe in Svenskeren at least. I think they can play a good early game, and I think from the games that TSM showed, I think last week, if they wouldn't be ahead early game, they not always would like play well in mid-late game, like macro-wise. But I do think they're like way better than last year. So I mean, I think it's going to be a close series.
I haven't watched that much N8, so I can like have a detailed prescription of the game, right? But I do think that C9 top jungle should be better than TSM's, and TSM bot mid should be better than C9's. So we will see who ends up like actually taking the edge. I think Sven is playing really well recently, so I kind of hope. I mean, I really hope TSM wins and they win in final and they just make it to MSI and then I get to win.
The storyline. Okay, Yamada.
I'm on TSM side. I think just because of how the map is structured, I think having the stronger mid 2v2 is just it's too important right now in the meta game. I think they can pressure into top. I think Broken Blade has a good champion pool to hold himself against Licorice, so I think TSM is going to take it.
Oof, a lot of exciting personal matchups as well in that one. It starts in 2 hours at least. Countdown does, so you
guys
can get
made
in
it
on that
quick.
action at 10:30. Excuse me?
I just said they made it
Hey,
so
what time
quick.
is it now?
It's 8.
Is it 8? 8:30? Look
eight-
on your.
eight-
You have a watch.
It's 8 o'clock.
You're going to
8
go
o'clock,
for
I
your
think.
phone. This is what's wrong with the people today. I don't need this Rolex. Okay, anyway, 8:20, so just a little. Get some snacks, get some drinks, plant yourself on that couch, and watch TSMC9 in 2 hours. And if you missed anything from Origen versus G2, we'll also have a rebroadcast after the last game in Los Angeles. I'm personally very excited. This has been the last show from the studio here in Berlin and was the inaugural LEC Spring Split. It was an absolute blast. And next weekend, it's going to be crazy. I really can't wait. I wish you guys the best of luck in the final. And of course, OG versus Fnatic on Saturday. We'll see you then next week. Get some sleep and a lot of sleep some nights, and then we'll see you there.
Yeah, see you there.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And also, let's take a look at who's the front runner for winning the whole thing. It's StatSpot. He's coming straight for you.
I know, I'm not excited
Can
about
you bow
this.
to our Lord and Savior?
No, I'm not bowing to him. We gotta... I hate you.
And G2, they say, OG, you can want a team fight all you want. Alfari gets the double, almost gets the triple. The heroes, they just, no way is Alfari just turned that one around. It was all G2. 1,000 HP left on the elder. Jankos trying to get it. Jankos steals it away. There's the Nexus towers going down. G2, they steal it away. They can do it. G2 take the Nexus. But Jankos is on the flank. Vision Empire comes down. Alfari flashes across the wall. Jankos down to about half HP, but already Cold's done. Jankos underneath the tower. Into the back of Jankos will secure it. Mickey coming in as well. He jumps onto the back line. Newton uses his stopwatch just in time. The first two actually used there. Mickey will spin out Patrick. Perks on a rampage. They take 2. They take 3. They take it, sodding all. And they'll get the triple kill for Aurelia. G2 are 1 game away from finals in Rotterdam.
How are they going to do this?
Out is yet to level up a skill, doesn't have the W. Here we go. Wonder stepping straight into Alfari. There's Mickey. Waiting for the knock-up. Alfari doesn't flash away from it. The chase is still on. Alfari ignited the parlay.
Look. I'm doing crazy. Okay, that's really fun.
Oh my god, you're so good actually.
Can you guys run? What?
Caps jumps in. Nuke goes golden. Pops the stopwatch for the moment, but he's down. And Caps and G2 will silence anyone that doubted them. And they will fight for the title in Rotterdam.